Hey, and welcome to the Slow City Together podcast. We are glad you are here with us today. I'm Jordan. I'm here with Brent.
You've got some gusto in your
I'm
voice.
feeling it today, baby. Feeling good. How are you?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
We're here.
Did you have a restful weekend?
It was really nice.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a really good weekend. We had a great
You did chorizo plains, I see.
Yeah, we went to the...
I'm
I'm going to be honest with you.
let down.
It was a tough,
feel, right?
It was a tough trip.
Tough
It was beautiful. The quarantine kids, as we now call them, didn't know what to do with the outside world. It was nice though, man. It really was. It was beautiful. There were less flowers out than I anticipated.
So I don't know what it is. Is it just a field of flowers?
There's hills. We actually climbed around on some rocks. It was really pretty. It was just like Dixie Chicks, wide open spaces.
Mm.
Wide open spaces.
Yeah, I'm familiar. That's a different podcast, but
Okay.
Dixie Chicks recordings are weird. Okay. For the amount of money they have, there's just some weird. No, that's a different.
I appreciate that this is a passion of yours.
It really is. There's something about the microphones they use for the vocals that seem like they bought them at Guitar Center on sale for like $49.99. It's just there's a quality that you'd expect that they would have risen above.
So we got in the car. We drove to Chorizo.
Yeah.
Chorizo. You're gonna mess me up now. I got corrected at our small business buyout. What it actually?
Somebody did.
Yeah. But we drove out and shout out to David Boggs. But we went out and we parked on the side of the road, right in the middle of the mud, and we pulled out 2 lawn chairs and we ate our ham sandwiches and our peanut butter and jelly. We actually saw in the distance like an elk. We were like, "What is that? A horse?" It was massive.
What was the word that Jenna used?
Jenna Googled it and says that it's a tool elk. T-U-L-E.
Cool.
You can Google. I don't know if it's a real thing. I didn't. I trusted her to tool elk. And we hiked a little bit, and we did, and then on our way back, we hit this field where there were actual flowers out. There were all these cars parked, and we didn't stop. But that was the prettiest part of it.
You were done?
We drove an hour and a half. We hit our limits relationally, and we drove home.
It's kind of like due east.
No.
Right?
Kind of southeast.
Because isn't it like
it's kind of
up from Santa Barbara, east from us, and it's
we drove up to Santa Margarita and then about 58. It was really nice. And then Sunday was great. We had church. Jenna ordered a kind of risen bed, a raised garden bed.
Oh, cool.
And we used to garden a ton. She used to garden a ton, and it was just really good as a family to get outside, put a garden bed together, fill it with dirt, get our hands dirty, clean up the backyard. It was nice. Beautiful weather. Good weekend. What about you?
Yeah, it was good. Hung out at home. We've got like a concrete that goes all the way around the perimeter of our house, inside of a little fence. So we did like a chalk obstacle course is the wrong word. What have we been calling it? It's different things. Like you got a
relay,
kind of, but we've been racing.
Chalk race.
Yeah. So,
what have you been calling it?
I can't remember. What's it called? It's not I don't
Chalk derby.
Anyhow, my daughter and I have been neck and neck, but I hitched her up for the fastest time.
I need video of that.
Well, you don't want it. It's not pretty. But yeah, it was good though. Had a good morning at church. Trying to think of anything from yesterday.
Michael Jordan documentary. How awesome was that?
I don't know. I don't have a login. So.
Somebody needs to give Jordan their ESPN login. But we watched. You're a rule follower.
I'm too much of a rule follower.
Man, it was just really sit down on the couch and have something. Like, I am tired of Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the TV things. I'm tired of. There's nothing of like. I don't know. I can't sit and watch a show anymore. Are you tired of it? People are tired of Zoom calls. People are tired of Netflixing. It's just not joy inducing. And so what gave me joy last
Was
night
Michael Jordan.
was reminiscing on how
Mhm.
amazing of a basketball player Michael Jordan was, and my kids to go,
Okay, yeah. So, are your kids moved by his greatness?
my boys are. The girls were like crying
Yeah.
that we were watching
Yeah.
a documentary.
But like your boys, who
Yeah.
probably are way more LeBron and Steph Curry
Yes.
idolizers, do they see Michael and are they getting it?
Yeah, they get it.
It's the tip of the iceberg, though, right? They're
They
going
get
to
it.
be even more blown away as this goes on.
They get it. Yeah, and I think they're seeing it. And so Cole is a big Steph Curry fan. Keegan is a big LeBron fan.
Mhm.
And they talk about who's better, which
Right.
is not even an argument. LeBron's better. But to watch Michael Jordan and to see what he did, even in like his rookie year, like they're doing his rookie year highlights and his second year, it was just amazing. And honestly, in that time, it was a cultural phenomenon. Like TV was just coming on,
Yeah.
real
Yeah.
TV, and everybody was just enamored by the
yeah.
dude who could fly.
Yeah.
I believe I can fly.
We only watched that yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I will say that I'm a little younger than you, but I started watching basketball in the Michael Jordan prime
Mhm.
of his championships. But even now, I've forgotten why he was so.
Mhm.
So that's why I'm anxious to one day maybe be able to see this documentary.
Yeah.
Because
When it comes out.
I've been desensitized to because of the LeBrons and the Stephs to like.
Yeah.
So I want to be able to see it again.
That was like the era of hard work.
Yeah.
It was the era of actually like working hard and getting something done and like gritting through it. Now it's the era in basketball of like, let's
Soft. It's soft.
It's a little
It's
soft. And so
it is.
And so that gritty Chicago, like Chicago Bulls versus Detroit Pistons versus, like it's
Three-way? Did they do it through Chicago versus Detroit versus?
No, but like they show those games of full on tackling. It was good. It was good. So that's what we did this weekend.
Cool.
We had a nice time. It was good. It was a very nice family.
So one of the things we went live with this weekend was the resources page.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We put a SLO City Kids some content up, which is awesome for families. Check that out if you've got a family or just.
Did you do the challenge sheet with your kids?
No, I did yesterday. We did yesterday,
right.
But we're going to.
Great. Yeah, the kids page and then the resources page is live. It's just the beginning of what we're trying to figure out. Like, how can we resource one another with great reads? Because there's a lot of not great things out there.
Yeah.
On theology and on practice and so we want to make sure we're putting out things that we
believe in.
Well, yeah, believe in, and also are I don't know, because there's just a lot of damaging things out there that you could read that like may sound good, but I don't know, we can go sideways on that.
Yeah. But so that'll be a living and breathing page, right? Where that will continue to grow.
Yeah.
But one of the books that I haven't read yet, but you're reading?
Yeah, I'm in the midst of it. Okay. I read books in spurts.
Yeah. Is The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, correct?
Yes.
Did I get that right? Which I've heard so many people talk about, friends within the church, friends outside. If you are familiar with John Mark Comer, Portland.
Yeah, pastor
in Portland. There's a podcast that called This Cultural Moment that tackles this cultural moment, and very interesting, very deep thinker, right?
Yeah. He's a deep thinker. I like him. Yeah.
Would you fight me on that? On deep thinker?
Well, I just think
what would be if you had to choose
I'd say he's popular in like he's a popular, trendy pastor right now.
Yeah. And he's very gentle.
Yeah,
right?
I like him a lot. We've got some people who moved from Portland who used to go to his church. And I think his books are great. I think it's a very challenging book.
Stimulating content for brain.
Yeah, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, because I actually feel way more hurried in this season. I mean, there was more to do, but I feel more internally hurried in this season. of just this constant swirling and pressure and all those things. And so my wife has instituted like a reading hour for our family.
Mhm.
She's been reading The Magician's Nephew to our kids. We've got one chapter left, and then we read together for an hour, and then read individually for an hour. And it's been the best thing about this. And so in my hour, I've been reading when I'm there. I've been reading The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
So, dude, here's my thing though. Blair's done the same thing. Sets a timer for an hour. Guess what I've done? I've not read one time
Well,
during that hour
you're a loser
because of the hurry. Because I'm like, okay, I got a quiet hour. I need to work.
Yeah.
I need to get something ready for it.
Yeah.
And that's sad that I can't even embrace that.
I'm the same way. It takes me.
And I want to, like, the thing I keep saying to you, to my wife, is like, I want to read, I want to read, I want to read. I got stuff that I actually want to read. And when I have that timer set for an hour where it's like, here's the easy layup, I can do it. I don't. I go, okay, I need to work. I need to do this.
I was listening to this Emotionally Healthy Leader podcast yesterday by Pete Scazzaro. Both of those podcasts are on the resource page.
Yeah.
This is turning into a resource plug, but they're kind of like our favorite things.
Yeah.
Book list and podcast list. He just talked about these 4 quadrants of prayer, rest, relationships, and work, and how in this season it is really easy to, well, I'm bored, so I guess I'll work. Well, I'm here and I'm not feeling like I'm accomplishing it. Like, we're quarantined, and so I have more time, and I don't want to binge watch Netflix. I don't want to read because I'm struggling with internal success too. I'm internal, and there is so much need, and there's so many people, and there's so many things. And so the first thing that can easily go for me is I can just work. There's no hours anymore. It's not like 9 to 5.
I hate that. That is not how my mind and body operate at what I would have called maximum capacity, but maybe that's self-defeating in some ways. I crave, like, okay, guys, I'm going to work now. See you at 5 p.m.
Well, and there were rhythms built in of like, for me, it was like, I got to go pick up my kid from middle school and fight the traffic.
Right.
And I missed that because it was a breath. It was a rhythm of rest.
Right, like a required, instituted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I didn't recognize in the moment.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it. That was a rhythm.
There.
That was a 30-minute chunk of my day.
Yeah.
Where I'm in the Jeep. I can't hear anything anyway because it's so loud. And I have no windows and no heat. And so the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry book kind of
give us some highlights of.
I just think he talks about, I'm gonna butcher some of this, but he talks about when time was invented. Not like God invented time, but when we started keeping track of time, and then like the Industrial Revolution, and he talks about the Gutenberg press and like, all of this information, and then he really zeroes in on 2007. Do you know what happened in 2007?
No.
Besides my son being born.
No.
On July 7th, 7707. Do you know what happened in 2007? I have the picture. Jenna and I bought the first ever iPhone. And when the iPhone was invented,
beginning of the end,
it kind of changed everything.
It really did.
Because now work is available. I mean, the BlackBerry was kind of around, but only the elites had the BlackBerries.
People thought they were elites.
And so he just talks about now, like I have Jenna sent me a picture here
of the pages.
Yeah, she's there. Well, like she, like he was talking about, like how the fact that the average iPhone user now touches his or her phone 2,617 times.
Oh.
Each user is on his or her phone for 2.5 hours over 76 sessions. I don't know what that is. But basically, like some research done on like how much you're like on your phone.
Yeah.
And your screen time now, even in quarantine, is probably going off the rails of like, I'm checking my email, I'm texting, I'm checking Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Some of our friends just got on TikTok, so now you got TikTok, you got the news, you've got live streaming, you've got church online, you've got all these things. And like all of this is just consuming, and the book is a lot about how, marketing, they're not marketing for your attention. And one of the things that struck me is like how he says our attention span is like 8 seconds. So 8 to 10, like less than a goldfish. And so now he's like, every 8 to 10 seconds, you're drawn to this. So you're drawn to touch your phone, you're drawn to pick up and check something, and now how even Facebook has built in little notifications and buzzes on your phone. Your watch is buzzing, and you're just like,
where do I look now?
And so now when you're home and you lose a rhythm of, I don't know, it's an interesting thing to wrestle with. So that's a great book. You should read it.
Yeah,
because it sounds like you and I are both hurried in this season.
It's stupid, man. It really is. When I hear the timer go off for my kids, I'm like, what did I just gain?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. Some of it feels necessary, but some days I'm like,
There's a book I read in college. I don't know who the author was, but it's called Too Busy Not to Pray.
Yeah.
Too busy to pray?
No.
Or Too Busy Not to Pray? That seems like a weird title, but the idea of like, you're so busy that you don't pray. You're so busy that you don't read. You're so busy that you don't take care of yourself. And this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm realizing in all this pressure and all this new, like, man, I need to refine these things in my life.
Yeah.
Because this is gonna continue to go on. Yeah. There was more doom scrolling.
Yeah, what is the definition for doom scrolling? Because Blair asked me, what's doom scrolling? And I said confidently, it's when you just are bad news. Is that it?
That was it. It was a new phrase.
And every time you said super spreader, I just thought of super shredder.
I know.
And Ninja Turtles where it punches up.
We watched that as a family. Number 1 and 2. I will not watch number 3.
No, 3 is so bad.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We started watching that with Jonas when he was little.
Yeah.
That's probably bad.
Yeah, that's why he has nightmares.
That's why he has
nightmares. They were pretty dark. But it's great. Have you seen Netflix, how they were made, or toys that made?
Oh, yeah. We didn't watch that one.
Because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has a thing. Like
the toys, right?
The toys, but it bleeds into the movie.
Really?
Because it is the story of how, and it's all marketing. I feel so used.
That's why
toy makers. The idea that toy makers didn't make toys for kids' joy, but for
it's all the Truman Show. It all comes back to Truman Show because that movie shows you the power of marketing.
It's crazy.
Were you into Ninja Turtles when you were a kid?
No, because I was a little older. I mean, a little bit. My brother was more, but I was into the movies.
Yeah, I was really into it.
I wasn't really an action figure. Like, I had He-Man, because that's how old I am. I had He-Man, and then, it was just, I was never like a, hey,
you would not fit in my house.
So
that's all we did. All day during quarantine.
So, did anything stick out to you from this past Sunday that you're walking away from Sunday with?
Yeah, I mean, I shared with Ethan kind of in real time when we're recording the sermon and stuff. There was just something about the imagery of the disciples going in and locking their door versus the disciples who willingly go out, are jailed, beaten, tortured, ultimately killed.
And they're like, give it to me again.
Who were like, dude, you can't stop me.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is such a stark change.
Yeah.
And it is all in that one scene. Because they go in terror, thinking Jesus, their Savior, the one they followed, is dead. And they lock the door and they huddle up to stay safe. And then he appears to them.
Yeah.
And then it just flips. And to me, that is just such a clear picture of
even
that just blew that blew my mind.
The thing that I didn't expand upon that I think about often is but they heard about it. They had a thought, because the women went there in the morning. They come back and they tell everybody, but they don't see Jesus.
Yeah.
They don't see him.
Right.
And so they're like, no way.
Yeah.
Or they even run to the tomb and it's empty, and then they go back
and lock the door.
And they lock the door because they're like, surely somebody just took him, or and then he shows up. That's even fascinating, of the thought of he could be alive. He told us he was gonna.
Yeah, now, he said that.
But now we're still thinking scared until he shows up.
Right.
And I think that's, even for me in seasons of door locked moments,
Yeah.
I can just say until he shows up.
Yeah.
Until he shows up. And
But like,
he does. And he does.
He does, and we've said this time and again to one another. But like, if we're talking apologetics, if we're talking like the existence of God or the truth of the Jesus narrative and all that, like that turned in the disciples for me is all I need.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that's such a big thing to go. Okay, these people who are terrified see him.
Yeah.
And they just flip 180, and it's like all of them go walk to death knowingly, willingly, because they're like, no, this is true.
Right.
You know?
That's good. I think, I think
that's something.
That's big. Good. I'm glad you were walking out of the weekend. Because I think it's something for all of us, I think, as we continue to be hunkered down in our homes. Yeah. And it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. We're into mid-May, you know, and no matter where you land on that, you know, from like I think we should probably, let the beaches be open, or I think we should.
This or that.
This is what it's going to be, you know, and we're going to, I think I want to continue to say, we have a unique opportunity that we cannot waste. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it were to end today, if I would feel like I wasted the opportunity to really read, rest, reflect, be formed.
Yeah.
If I would step back into normal life more tired or more ready. And I think
that's tough.
And I think because we all feel there's all this weight and all this pressure and all these different things that we're navigating.
Yes. You know, it's interesting.
What?
Because when you're asking that question, this is just me. I'm not saying this out of pride. I would, if it ended today, I would go back into normal life, quote unquote, feeling successful.
I agree. Well, yeah.
And not rested.
Okay. Yeah.
And I guess that's the differentiation. Like I would feel probably a little more tired and like, oh, I'm not ready. Yeah. But I would feel like we did a good job. We did a good job. We met in the moment, and and like to me at face value, I go, oh, that's positive. But then if I realize what I haven't done, it's an interesting way to look at it.
You know, yeah, because
I think
there are some things that I would say like, yeah, we killed it.
Right.
I killed that. I did a great job at that.
At what cost?
At the cost of this.
You know?
And I think for every one of us,
that's convicting.
You know, like we have to, and I'm wrestling with this. Like, at what cost do I run this hard? At what cost do I dominate, conquer?
And where's the healthy balance?
And what am I sacrificing? Oof. Am I sacrificing my body? Am I sacrificing my exhaustion? Am I sacrificing time with my family when my kids are being present? You know, we started playing a new game, Farkle.
Yeah.
Have you played Farkle?
No.
It's a great game. Every one of my kids can play it. I don't know. You got dice and you roll them out and you try and.
Letters? Is it letters?
No, it's dice. It's like real numbers.
I thought it was boggle.
There's 1 dot and then 2 dots and then 3 dots and 4 dots. And it's a fun game, but like in that moment, you know, like there was a breath where, you know, you're counting numbers and you're playing, man, I don't want to miss this.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss the fact that my kids get to sleep in the morning and we wake up together and we're not rushed out the door. I mean, sometimes I'm forgetting old life. Because I had a moment just earlier today where I thought, like, I don't remember. Like, I was up at Mission Prep getting some things, and I'm like, I don't remember what it was like to get up super early on Sunday morning and set up a whole church infrastructure. Like, I thought, wow. Yeah, that'd be it's lost touch. Yeah, with that. It's kind of cool how we are wired to adapt and maneuver, and how I think hope gives us that. Like, hope gives
looking
us
forward. Like
looking forward. Like, okay, like I'm not just gonna sit here and wait for somebody to tell me what to do.
Or I'm wish it was another way.
Yeah, but actually look back and say, in the moment, like I gotta be more reflective and more contemplative in this season. I've got to be, and I think we all have to be, because we're gonna step back into normal. It's not gonna be normal for one.
Right.
Like this is gonna be a long.
Yeah, there's no flip switch where it's like.
And I'm becoming more and more convinced. And I think this past week I was grieving a little bit
Yeah.
Like grieving like the idea that we would be meeting back together in June. Folks, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not going to happen. We might have some, but we're going to continue. I just think this is going to be a season of continued creativity and innovation and ways to connect with people, serve people, love people, grow together as the church.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening from a gospel kingdom perspective is that the kingdom is making its way. The way of Jesus is making its way into new corners and crevices and
I think so.
people, and I don't think we can see it. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it, because we can't take credit for that.
Right.
That's the work of God.
Yep.
What's that? Romans 8:28. God works all things together for the good of those who love Him. And I think God is working things out for good in the midst of pain and loss. I'm rambling.
That's good though.
But we have people in our church who have had to lay off work.
Right.
We have had people in our church who have been laid off.
Right.
My uncle has COVID, has coronavirus in his wife. Great uncle.
Yeah.
My grandfather's brother. And you're just thinking about how many people have been touched and affected by economically, relationally, all those things. So I'm going to say one more thing and then you can keep talking. But this next Sunday, we start a new series called Under Pressure. Because I think every single one of us, me being the worst, the most, chief sinner, is feeling under pressure. And I think God has some hope and direction and
a better way,
a word for us.
Yeah.
I can use that term.
Sure.
In the midst of pressure.
I love that.
A better way.
Cool. Well, I think that's a good stopping point. So you've handed it back to me, but I will just deflect to saying, it's good.
Yeah.
Focus on, think about that. Spend some time thinking about like the question that I'm walking away with is at what cost?
Yeah.
Like even good things come at a cost. And so striking a balance and not forgetting about the importance of devotion and self-care and all that kind of stuff is important. So be a friend to someone, call somebody this week.
Yeah.
Be encouraged, reach out, ask for help.
Don't lose hope.
Don't lose hope. Good things are happening.
Yeah.
Sad we can't meet in person, but cherishing this special, different time of life.
Yeah. Connect this week online through some of the live stream things. If you're not jumping on Thursday mornings at 8 a.m. for live worship, you're missing out. Get up early this week. Do something different. Change your routine. Go for a walk.
Yeah.
Put on that mask and climb a mountain. Do something different, because I think God wants to meet you in the middle of all of this. I'm saying that because I'm reflecting on this internally.
It's good. Awesome. Well,
really good to be with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for hanging in, and we'll have some more good stuff coming.
Absolutely.
Later this week.
All right.
All right. Peace.